All right. Hey guys. So yesterday there was a new bundle on Fanatical that I thought was worth mentioning. Fanatical always has a bunch of great deals going on. One of my favorite bundle websites of all time. But their newest bundle is the Fugitive Bundle. It's 3 games for $1.50, 9 games for $5, or 12 games for $10. Basically the same as Humble Bundle, little tiered list. So the first tier, $1.50, you're getting Devil Daggers, which when this game was released, it had a lot of popularity, overwhelmingly positive reviews. It's essentially a very challenging, demonic first person shooter where you basically try to survive as long as possible, although you only end up surviving for a couple minutes or so. So it's a very replayable game, and it's also pretty enjoyable, especially if you're competing with your friends on the leaderboards and so forth. So Devil Daggers is definitely worth getting, especially for such a low price. The other 2 games, they're a little bit older. Stalker Shadow of Chernobyl is a classic post-apocalyptic open world first-person shooter. You can kind of think of it like sort of like Metro and Fallout, although this has its own unique vibe to it, and a lot of people really enjoy it. So if you haven't played any of these Stalker games before, I would encourage you to do so. The final game, Blood Bowl Chaos Edition, I haven't played this, so I'm not sure. It looks like some sort of strategy sports fantasy type game. It looks really silly, so might be fun for a few minutes. Not really sure about that one. The second tier has a bunch more games. I'm going to only go through a couple of them. Mars Warlogs is a cyberpunk style RPG on Mars with some decent third-person combat. It's a fairly decent RPG, I would say. If you enjoy games that have a lot of dialogue, a lot of story to them, you may enjoy it, although it's certainly not on the same quality as something like Mass Effect, but that's to be expected. This isn't some like AAA studio, but I still think it's a pretty decent game overall, and it can give you quite a few hours of content. And then there's Lust for Darkness, which I've played through the entire game. This is an adult-oriented horror adventure game filled with all sorts of sexual imagery, demonic cults, and devilish creatures. Personally, I really enjoyed it, but some of you may find it to be a bit strange. It really depends on your preferences, but I thought it was a pretty good experience. And then the final game I want to talk about is Wings of V. This has very positive reviews on Steam. It's I guess you would call it a hardcore action platformer. It is very challenging. You will die a lot, but some people really enjoy games of this style as it offers a lot of replayability, and it really gives you a sense of accomplishment getting through each stage. So I definitely recommend Wings of V for platforming fans for sure. So moving forward from that, the third tier, which is at $10, and of course you get everything shown above as well. You're getting Redout Enhanced Edition, and this is really what I think makes this bundle special, because Redout is one of my all-time favorite racing games. You can kind of think of it like F-Zero, but modernized with amazing graphics, incredible speed, and just that adrenaline-filled gameplay that makes racing games so enjoyable. So I would highly recommend trying out Redout. Very, very enjoyable, like futuristic sci-fi like hovercraft style racing. You're going like 1,000 miles per hour. The tracks are amazing too. The environments, they did a really good job on Redout. And then there's Cossacks 3 along with some DLC. This is kind of a mix between a real-time strategy and a base builder set in the 17th and 18th century. There is some massive scale battles that remind me a little bit of the Total War series. I haven't played it yet, but I do think I'm going to check it out in the near future. But I do personally think this is a fantastic bundle overall, especially for games like Devil Daggers and of course Redout. I think those 2 games in particular are some of my favorites. The rest of the games, there's some decent quality content in the rest of them, but it really depends on how much you're willing to spend. Going back to the Fanatical store, there's a bunch of other deals going on as well. There's a new Mystery Machine bundle, and Fanatical's known for giving some pretty decent games in this. It's more or less a gamble. You pay $1 and you get a random key, or you can pay $7 for 10 keys. They do say that there's a chance of getting AAA games, and there's actually a list of AAA games that you can find here. Some really expensive games as well. So I'm not too sure about the mystery bundles. I never really participate in them just because I already own a lot of games already, but I heard some people really enjoy them. Also, there's a couple other bundles as well. There's the Assemble bundle, which is 8 games for $1.49. I haven't really heard of any of these besides maybe Seville and maybe Nova Nukers as well. So these are like lower end indie games, but they're really cheap. 8 games for $1.49. There's also the Recoil bundle. There's 12 games for $4, and again, these are fairly low end, like little like puzzle games and so forth. Some of them are more enjoyable. I know Crimson Land's a pretty good game, so this might be worth it too if you're into game collecting. And then there's the Pick and Mix Very Positive bundle. It's $1.49 for 3 games, or 9 for $3.59. But all of these games have very positive reviews, so you get to just pick which ones you enjoy. I highly recommend Geometry Wars 3. That is a fantastic arcade game. There's also some other bundles like the DSX bundle. You can pick up DSX Human Revolution for $5, or the newer game Mankind Divided for $9, and you'll also get the rest of the games as well. So if you want to get into the DSX series, which is a fantastic like sci-fi stealth action game, you can get it for a fairly low cost. There's also one more, I think, down here. This is always going on, but you can pick up Shadow of Mordor alongside all the DLC for just $5. You can also get the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 for just $3. I think it's just $3, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Fanatical. Again, if you guys want to help support me, be sure to use my referral link in the description below before you decide to purchase anything on Fanatical. I really appreciate it. Let me know what you guys think of the Fugitive Bundle. I think it's certainly worthwhile, especially the first tier if you haven't played Devil Daggers. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.